welcome to the Gilded Outhouse. And I know to the Gilded Outhouse, and I'm the Moon Crier, and holy shit, it has been way too fucking long. And I was like, hey, oh, really? Anyway, so, hello and welcome to the Gilded Outhouse. I am the Moon Crier. And I'm back from this long ass hiatus. It's been fucking crazy. I'm still doing the show and shit. But I haven't really done a fucking video. And I'm like, I want to do one. So, something that I wanted to do was I now finally have all the like classic Byrds albums on CD. And I thought it'd be really interesting to kind of rank them, see which ones I like the best, which ones I like. I mean, I like them all. But like, which one's the fucking worst? It's pretty hard. It's really hard to rank all the Byrds albums that came out during like the 60s and figure out which one's the best. I mean, because really after Sweetheart of the Rodeo, the band kind of drops off. Like Dr. Bird is fine, Easy Rider's pretty good, and I did like Untitled, and the Reunion album. Oh, Bird Maniacs. Bird Maniacs actually pretty good. I liked that one. And the Reunion album was really, really underwhelming. Like the lack of Rickenbacker kind of killed it for me. I'm a sucker for the Rickenbacker. That's why I even like the Byrds to begin with. McGuinn is my favorite guitarist of all time, and he plays the Rickenbacker better than anyone else ever could, even George, and he's probably my close second for who can play a 12-string. But I'm going to try to do this off the cuff. It's probably going to change, and we're going to go with my favorite to my least favorite. It's a lot easier. And really, my favorite is quite obvious. The one that started it all, Mr. Tambourine Man. I absolutely love this album. It's probably one of my top 5 albums of all time. Every song on here is an absolute hit. No skips to even think about or to even consider. And I just absolutely love this album. It's probably one of the most iconic folk rock records ever. Just look at that cover, man. With the black. So cool. And also something I really like is how the CD version has all these extra bonus tracks and these amazing, amazing books. These are probably some of my favorite CD issues up there with like the Beach Boys 2-in-1s. But yeah, this is not talking about the actual album, not the fucking CD issue. Not the fucking CD issues. And it's just every single song on here. It's just amazing. Mr. Tambourine Man, absolutely iconic track. I Feel a Lot Better is probably my favorite song off this album. An absolute rocker. And the Dylan covers are pretty good. Bells of Rimney, holy shit. Just every song on here is just absolutely amazing. And I put that as my number 1. For number 2 is The Fifth Dimension. Which, this one took me a really long time to really appreciate this album. At first, I was like, I love the first half, and the rest of the song was kind of shit. But I've seen the light. Because, let's see on here, Fifth Dimension, absolutely beautiful song. Wild Mountain Time is amazing. Mr. Spaceman's really good. I See You, so like every song on here. What's Happening is probably one of my favorite David Crosby songs that he ever wrote. 8 Miles High is an absolute classic. It's the theme song of the show, after all. Hey Joe is a really good cover. Captain Soul is actually one of the few instrumental tracks I actually really like. It's kind of up there with like Carl's Big Chance for me. With good instrumentals, or even some of the Beach Boys, like Passing By. Like it's kind of up there with the Beach Boys and their high quality instrumentals. And the Learjet song is pretty good. I always liked it. And of course, even though it's not really on the album, they include the single version of Why, which is just an amazing song. And I mean, I can't put that with the album, but something I really like about the CD issue that they included that. So yeah, that's number 2 right here. So this is where shit gets really hard. Because number 3, I think I have to go with Notorious Bird Brothers. This is the first Byrds album I ever bought, and I mean, I have to say, I played the shit out of it. It's kind of like a semi-reunion of the original group here, because, I mean, Crosby shows up for a few songs, but then he gets fired, and then Gene Clark comes back, and he writes, and does some vocals on some songs. He does vocals for Going Back, which is an absolutely amazing song. And I think he writes Get To You, which is one of my favorite Byrds songs of all time, so that's a really, really cool thing that, you know, one of my favorite songs that they have recorded was put on here. And I really think they did a really good job with the psychedelic rock. They pretty much went on what they did with Younger Than Yesterday and completely built upon it and just made an absolutely wonderful album. Also, shout out to one of my favorite movies of all time, Easy Rider, that Wasn't Born to Follow, when they're all skinny dipping in that ravine. Oh, such a good scene. Up next, it gets tougher, but I have to say Turn, Turn, Turn. Just an absolutely classic album. They kind of build up on Mr. Tambourine Man. I mean, they take a few steps back, I think. There's some songs on here, I just don't get why they're on here. I've never been a big fan of Set You Free This Time. There's, you know, Gene Clark. And probably say The Times They Are Changing cover is not that good. In fact, the first version that they have on here is so much better. They even left off She Don't Care About Time, which is just like probably one of their best songs too, but I don't know. I mean, I get why they put Osu Zen on there, because Mr. Tambourine Man had We'll Meet Again. They're supposed to have these little joke songs that they put at the end they don't really take seriously, but damn, they do such a good job of doing it. But yeah, like, it's good, but I think the Byrds made some really bad calls on what tracks to put on here, and it just kind of seems like a bit of a step down to their first effort. But I will say, though, Turn, Turn, Turn is probably one of the greatest songs of all time. And there's some other good songs, but it's just not enough to lift down all the dead weight. Up next. Oh, this is tough. I think it kind of goes down to taste. But I would probably say I like Sweetheart of the Rodeo more than Younger Than Yesterday, which is kind of crazy. I used to love this album. This is actually one of the earlier Byrds albums that I bought on vinyl, and I've listened to it a lot. And there's some really good songs. Have You Seen Her Face is an absolutely amazing song. Still Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star, Renaissance Fair. There's some good stuff in here, but Mind Gardens is shit. CTA is horrible, and their album cut for Y is just so weak. It's so weak. I don't know. It's just a big step down. From like everything they've ever done in the past, and really disappointing. But luckily, I need to even get back on this. Fucking Sweetheart of the Rodeo is probably one of my favorite country albums out there. I've listened to quite a bit of Cash. I've listened to quite a bit of Williams. Similar stuff. I'm still a bit of a basic bitch when it comes to country. But the Byrds did so well. And You Ain't Going Nowhere is just a classic. Really good Dylan cover. The Christian Life is a really amazing song. One of my favorite Byrds songs too. I got a lot of favorite Byrds songs. Let's make a list. You know, Pretty Boy Floyd, Hickory Wind, You're Still on My Mind. Such an amazing cover. They get that feeling of 40s, 50s country, and folk, and just they absolutely expand on it. I'm really glad what they were to get out of this. And it's a shame this album did not sell well. It's so hard to find. You can find these on a CD, but vinyl, good fucking luck. A lot of good pedal guitars on it. It's just some really good shit. So that's how I'd probably rank the Byrds albums from best to worst. Mr. Tambourine Man, Fifth Dimension, Notorious Bird Brothers, Turn Turn Turn, Sweetheart of the Rodeo, and Notorious Birds Brothers. And after that, probably just kind of go downhill from there. A few little bumps that are good, but otherwise, you know, it's nothing I really go back to that often. But so yeah, that's my new video for now. Hopefully I'll be back soon. Peace.